Amazon is continuing to build its relationship with OpenAI. A new exclusive story from the Information Today reveals that there could be another deal in the works between the two companies, this one a commercial agreement. I want to bring on the two reporters who worked on that story. Anissa Gardizi is our cloud and compute reporter. Catherine Perloff covers Amazon. Welcome to you both. It's great to have you here.
Thanks, Akash.
Hi.
Anissa, I want to start with you. Tell us a little bit about how Amazon is getting closer to OpenAI.
Right. So the two companies have been getting closer over the past couple months. Amazon talking about making a very large equity investment into OpenAI, and the companies also have an existing cloud agreement. But the new thing here is that the companies are now talking about a large commercial agreement in which Amazon would use OpenAI models to power Amazon's AI products. And so Amazon would become a customer of OpenAI, just like OpenAI is a customer of Amazon. And this is important because this would be if they go through with it, it would be a massive project for OpenAI to take on, and it might signal sort of where Amazon's AI is going.
Catherine, talk about that signal, about why that tells us about where Amazon's AI is going. We've talked about the Nova models. Is this just frustration again that they're not as good as they need to be?
A little bit. Amazon wants to create a lot of AI products both in their shopping business, their cloud business, efforts to uh be more competitive in enterprise software, and they want the best models for all of that. Amazon leadership has been a bit frustrated that so many of these products have relied on Anthropic's models, and the Nova models haven't been quite up to the task of powering those products all on their own. And adding to that frustration is the fact that Amazon employees can't, do that much more customization of Anthropic models than what a regular, Anthropic customer could, despite the fact that Amazon has invested billions earlier on in Anthropic. So they're looking for, a new partner to help power some of these ambitions.
Anissa, talk a little bit more about this customization here. Why is it so important for a company like Amazon?
Right. So this is extremely important for Amazon because of what Kathy just mentioned. They don't want to just get what everyone else can get off the shelf from OpenAI. They're not just, if they go through with this deal, they're not just going to be accessing the same API that any other customer could use. This would be a very deep integration between the two companies. OpenAI would devote a lot of people, and so would Amazon, to work on figuring out how can they, post-train, tweak the model after it's already trained so that it works in the Amazon environment. That is a much closer relationship than any other typical enterprise customer would have with a model provider. And so I think that just, shows how important it is. And we don't know how much Amazon would pay to use OpenAI models, but presumably this would be a pretty large contract for OpenAI.
And Catherine, explain to us you talked a little bit about the relationship with Anthropic that Amazon had. I wonder if this is sort of an acknowledgement that, hey, we just can't put our all of our eggs into one basket, or if this is more frustration with what Anissa was saying earlier, which is that it's not doing the custom workloads that we need it to.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a bit of both. I think the frustration is like, if Amazon products are based on Anthropic models, how different are they from what Anthropic itself is selling, and how different are they from what any other startup who is using, these models as a base for their products are selling? And Amazon wants to be differentiated in the market. There's been concern from Amazon leaders that their products like, Quick Suite, which is an enterprise search tool, or Kiro, which is a coding assistant, could just be perceived as like an Anthropic wrapper. So they want a little bit more of that special sauce. Their own models haven't been quite the answer. And also, Anthropic in general, for all of its customers, allows less customization than OpenAI does for its customers. OpenAI has like an API that allows for more fine tuning, and Anthropic allows for this, but um, not as robustly as OpenAI. So I think that, yeah, they're looking for something special, essentially. And if they can't get it from Anthropic, they're going to try to find another way. And if they can't get it from themselves either, so
Anissa, last question for you. Put this story and this commercial deal into context for us in terms of the broader funding that OpenAI is trying to secure right now. And then also, I'm curious how the relative size of a deal like this, we don't know the exact numbers right now, but how does the size of a deal like this compare to the cloud deals that AWS clearly is I mean, I guess what I'm wondering is like, you know, are we talking about pennies here? Are we talking about, real proportions of revenue?
Yeah, so to your first question, this deal is happening in the context of the fundraising round that OpenAI is raising right now. They're trying to raise up to $100 billion. And we've reported that Amazon could potentially invest tens of billions into that round. So, no doubt these two things are connected and getting worked out at the same time. I think one interesting thing to note is that we've also reported that Amazon initially was a little bit caught off guard by OpenAI and ChatGPT. So this is a very interesting place to end up that they're now in talks for such a massive partnership. I think that's pretty interesting. And then to your other question, how does this compare to the cloud arrangement and how big could the commercial deal be? OpenAI has a $38 billion cloud contract with Amazon over several years, and they could be, negotiating more cloud capacity as part of what we're talking about today. So I don't know if Amazon is paying back, OpenAI $38 billion. I would guess probably not, but I think we're probably talking about, something in the billions, and we'll definitely be on the lookout to figure out how big the commercial agreement could be. But there's definitely a lot of money circling the same companies here as we report a lot here.
Great. Well, I'm just thinking about we just had the CFO of Uber on the call, and I mean, I think it's a great job to be the CFO of one of these companies, but I don't envy the bookkeepers who are trying to keep track of where all the billions are going. Because I mean, it's really just I pay you, you pay me back, and it's kinda like a Venmo balance, but just a big Venmo balance, albeit. So, anyway, I wanna thank you both for coming on. That is Anissa Gardizi, our cloud and compute reporter, and Catherine Perloff, our Amazon reporter here at The Information.